Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John's reports for the 31st of January. Well, I said the upward bias was built into where we were with the setup, and it's continuing. Not a whole lot, and we didn't expect it to be, all that magnificent. Particularly since we haven't seen this DOC here, orange, dip below the red yet. We are seeing turnaround positive, but it's still pretty negative. But it's kind of almost close to that. Well, at least we would look for the red to be below 22-ish range to really have a nice spike, which is what we saw when we had this move here. But not quite at that depth. And so what we look, I usually refer to that weak buy zone, and usually these end up being, when you do get the crossover, it doesn't last very long. And it's interesting because that might coincide to a potential move towards 100% or even just a slight break of it. So we'll see how that one plays out going forward. Still a ways to go. And of course, you're going to have end of month settling of everything. So we could be in for, nice little raucous Friday. Why not? Volatility's still been good, and the whole week was filled with that and a lot of questions, but a lot of it's just hype. From a reading standpoint, that you can see even the NQ strong there from a magenta reading here. We also have that steel crossover of Cyan was a significant move at that particular point, and secondarily the steel moving above orange at this particular stage too. These are all solidifying moments because they represent the crossover in strength. And that's why those crossovers become so significant. From a Treasury standpoint, nothing. The Fed is just completely sidelined for the most part. They just have no clue as to what's going on. And despite the recent decline in oil, it's not enough to really stave off the effects of what's already taken place, unless Trump can find a way to drive this down significantly from where it is. You're still going to have rising inflation. It's going to impact all sorts of other areas. And of course, the Eurozone. Germany, there was a deal between the AfD and the CDU and that, which freaked out the left side of things. So that's caused all sorts of turmoil here in Europe. And that's just going to continue to play out. It'll be very interesting to see how at the end of February those elections turn out. And of course, flight to safety in gold, but it's not even safety. It's as much just a representation of spending is still going to be out of control, and you're going to continue to have devaluation. You should also expect that that's going to translate at least into some relativism in crypto. Now, Bitcoin and them outside move relative to gold, so they may be a little bit slower at the beginning of it, but once they catch on to it as well, they're going to also spike accordingly. And ETH has an awful lot of catching up to do relative to the others, so that could be the surprise beneficiary of a lot of this move. And from a 50K, you can see it was pretty chaotic most of all. And we had a brief moment here where we had the MBI white leading, came down, filled that 50% expectation from it, and just surrendered completely, like instantly. And then you had the turnaround of magenta pop up, and that's what we're dealing with at this particular stage. For the European session, well, actually, first we'll look at the ES from the 5K intraday here, and you can see just pretty clean. You get rid of call buyers that started in early, fade them out, put buyers jump in, and that gives you your new impetus. And then when they get a little too strong, boom, wipe them out. It's simple and clean for them. Works every time. Here in European session, we're up near the highs, and that's not going to change anytime soon here. We're in a little bit of a soft patch of it, but overall looks pretty clean. You can expect indicators coming out over the weekend, so you'll be all set for the beginning of February. And it should be another exciting one. Cabinet officials should be getting into place, and we should start seeing some interesting policy stuff. And that's going to start to have a real impact when we start hearing what goes on within the government and where the direction of things are going. I think the market's going to be poised to really look at that in a much stronger way. But as always, anything relevant, I'll put in the Skype chat for you. Have a good one. Trade well.